Hi. Kuurunichiw-ART. It's really quiet in here. Maybe that might be good actually, because I kind of wanna. I think I need to focus to start talking about some stuff. Not anything serious. It's just stuff that's probably interesting and stuff that I've been thinking about. Hi, hello back, hello. Yes. Oh man. Okay, let's put this here. Does that look fine? This is the recent artwork I've been doing actually. If you can't tell, it's me. It's me. Oh, my microphone. But yeah. Maybe the quietness here is actually probably a good thing for the time being, because unless you guys want some music. Do you guys want some music? I could put some music on for things. Oh boy. Fine shit. Let's fucking go. Hell yeah. Yes, music? Okay, let's get some music in then. What do I have here? Is this okay? Hold up, let's see what kind of things. Oh, okay. I wonder, do we have something here? Question mark? Let's try this. What is this? Okay, maybe that song will end and then it'll get to the other thing. But yeah. Oh man, it's been so long since I've done like an art stream where I could just talk about stuff and nerd out or hang out. But yeah. Oh, jazz. Hell yeah, you know how I am with jazz. I love my jazz. I love my jazz, bro. I love my jazz. But yeah. So, first off, hi. How are you all? Hope you all are doing well. For once in a while, I actually feel like taking things slow and doing some art now in creative stuff. I feel like I'm gaining my creative fire back as of lately, as of recent, which is honestly such a great feeling because I love creativity. Have I heard of honeymoon undoi Troy? I've not. I don't speak French, so sorry for butchering that. You like Bao's cover of it? Oh, okay. So wait, it's a song. Interesting. Okay. I guess I'll have to take a listen to Bao's cover of that song at some point then. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I sound nasally. Oh my god, that's such a different tune. Wait, let me turn it down. It's such a different tune, isn't it? The vibe is so different now. Okay. Well, anyways, we'll do it here. I think it calls for. For something like this, yeah. So, I'm trying to think about how to start this topic of what I was thinking about. So I of course have started, or rather, instead of course, I started writing some more as of late, or as of recent. I have this one cover, not one cover, but I'm currently writing this draft of the characters of mine here. One of them being, well, of course, me. So that's really fun. But yeah. And it's been fun. I'm discovering certain things that might be, that are really fun, that I didn't think I would be into, honestly. Like, I'm thinking about actually picking up some books now and reading some, like, any book really, because I have this thing where it's like, if I can have a framework by which I analyze by which I can analyze things, then I start to get really into it. I find that that's the way I get into stuff, is that if I have a way of analyzing something, that's the way I get into things, because I have a way of thinking about it and a way of appreciating it that is like beyond just feeling something and being like, oh, I feel pretty good about this, or like, you know. So that means that I have been listening to like a bunch of Brandon Sanderson stuff, and I've come across this other channel which I posted on my Discord, which is what is it, Hello Future Me? Or no, not Hello Future Me. That's the second story. Hillary Lane is her name. Yeah, I've been listening to her stuff, and it's been really fun kind of knowing her process. And I think I'm gonna start doing her thing of like making making like drafts essentially, and just kind of writing. And I have an interesting thing about that, where if you're like stuck on something, and I think this goes for really any creative endeavor, if you're stuck on something, it's a bit of like it's kind of a bit like pulling weights, where, or like in like working out, where you have to sort of work the muscle, I feel like. And I'll get to that in a bit, but essentially, if you just put stuff out on the page, you can like come back to it later and fix it up. Essentially, you can come back to it later and fix it up. Maybe that might work for you, maybe it doesn't though. It's no promise that having drafts would help you out in in your creative process. But I think of creativity as something that's a bit like cyclical. So you just might you'll be doing things over and over again, but there will be something different. There will be something different every time you revisit a particular thing you were struggling with upon your first introduction to creating something. And yeah, I think that's part of the creative journey, is you kind of surprise yourself, really. You take the time to just sort of surprise yourself, and if you can live with imperfection for a little bit before it becomes perfection of some kind. I don't know. I think of this idea of sculpting and how analogous it can actually be across all kinds of creative endeavors. But yeah, I'm kind of rambling off now. I hope I'm making sense, because I'm basically just saying that, like, creativity, if you're a writer, or if you're an artist, if you're a graphic artist, or if you're a logo designer, or if you're, heck, even an engineer, really, in some sense, art is going to be, or like an architect, like anything that requires like design or anything, you're going to be coming back to a thing over and over and over again. And I think that's like a general creative principle everywhere, from science to art to music even. Because I'm realizing that, like, we all have like this kind of syndrome, if you're a creative person, this syndrome of like the start syndrome, the starting syndrome, where essentially if you're like intermediate if you're an intermediate in a particular area, the start of something starts to become kind of intimidating. I need to change this music because I'm gonna get annoyed with how obscenely jazz it is. But so yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so you're like an intermediate and like an intermediately skilled person in a particular creative profession, be that, I would consider science to be a bit of a creative profession, honestly. And art. I mean, art is clearly a creative profession, but like science is kind of creative in its own particular way. I'm also just kind of rambling too, so I hope if you're following along with whatever the hell I'm saying here, then thank you. And also, oh my god. But yeah. My original points earlier were that for creative stuff, and if you're stuck in a creative process, my recommendation would be just to, in one sense, you can power through. In another sense, you can try to leverage anything in your current creative pursuit that's exciting, essentially. That's what I would think. That's what I would think to do, is that you want to just do something that with what you're doing currently, do something that's like fun, you know. Oh my god, that's such a drastic change. Oh man, I need a plugin to make this better. Hold on, let's put you over here, chat. There you go. Hi, chat. Hi up there. Good. But yeah. I don't know. I was saying all that because I figured some people who are venturing into creativity in my chat, I figured that idea and advice would be helpful. Otherwise, I might just yap on about my recent dives into creativity, or not creativity, creative writing, which I never thought I would get into, but I was looking through my folders on my computer because I'm a big folder, like I'm a big like folders organization dude. Like I'll have folders and folders and folders of just anything and everything, and it's like, what are all these folders for? And some of them will have like these, like some of them will have random like PDFs that I've downloaded because I wanted to study something, and then I never got to it again. Like I studied it for like a couple of weeks, and then I dropped it because I kind of got everything that I needed, and I needed to let things simmer. And then I've looked through my folders again, and I realized that, oh my god, wait, I have made some stories, and some of them make me excited, like, to share even now. I just needed to like edit some more stuff, and it's like, oh, this is really fun. Oh my god, this is so fun. And yeah, I've gotten into it, and so I started writing a bit more. It's been really fun, honestly, and I think I might just yap on about sort of some things that have been very exciting during this time I've been writing more stuff. So apparently with some of the works that I've made, I've shown it to some of my coworkers, and I've gotten generally really good positive feedback, and it makes me excited. Cause I mean, honestly, at first I felt like I was a bit nervous showing it off, but I was more excited to show it off because some of the stories that I have written about were things that have been on my mind for like years on end, and it's only ever now that I've gotten into actually making it more real, or like more actualized into writing it, essentially. So yeah, I guess that's the benefit of just constantly writing every idea that I have down. Honestly, that's my usual habit, where I'll just write everything that I have down, and I'll leave like a trace of it somewhere for future me to pick up on and be like, oh, you have more knowledge about stuff that you wanted to do for this thing that you wanted to try to do in X year, and now it's Y year now, and you have more patience, or you have more life stuff, and that makes you more capable of being able to do the thing that you wanted to do, because now you have either more time, or you have more resources, or you have more maturity, essentially, and more capability of balancing, or you have neither of those and you're just like, I need something to escape from. I need a thing to get into to escape from certain aspects of life. So then you just start doing the thing that you picked up, that you did, and we're like, I don't know if I want to do this now, but I'll see how I feel about it in the future. And next thing you know, my ideas of, and these are going to be like probably lore videos at some point. I know I keep on like delaying the making of lore videos, essentially, and I keep on talking about them, and that's primarily because I don't have a lot of animation experience to make it good. But suffice to say that it's there. I've tried making storyboards, at least, so that's one thing. But yeah, first time in forever that I felt like I just wanted to yap about whatever. So yeah, lore galore. Yeah, lore galore indeed. Lore galore indeed. Cause I've been thinking about it. So yeah. I don't know if I want to talk about what it is exactly that I am writing a story about. It is about me. But I had like an idea, a plan for how I was gonna do this story thing, but and I don't know if I want to spoil it now, or if I want to try to make that plan come to fruition. Man. So yeah, anyways, I will post my story. I don't know if I'm gonna post my story on Patreon though, for people who wanna read it. However, but if you really want to read it, you can DM me, or I could just send it into my Discord. But yeah, I hope what I said earlier about just continuing writing, or if you're doing anything creative, just to literally, you can do either excitement switching or just powering through, willpower, essentially. If you're feeling bored, or if you don't have good ideas, you can just power through them, or you could try to leverage any way of being excited about your work, and try your best to get into it. And then you can let other days guide you better on how to make something a bit more high quality. Because I think that's part of the thing about being a creative person, is that you really just gotta make do with the tides of your creativity if you want to be disciplined in it. But only if you want to be disciplined in it. You can be one of those people who, if you just want to do this as a bit more of a hobby, then you don't need to It is Angel Me. Look at this. Okay, wait. Let's take a look at this real quick. This, I mean, I could talk about like the lore actually just now. I could talk about sort of like the magic system that I have in mind for things. Cuz it's so exciting for me to it's been really exciting for me to think about like the magic system and the things that I have for the lore of just of me, but then also for like this almost potentially novel I could make, because I could make a novel. I feel like I have enough developed in my mind to make a novel a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. Has that ever happened before? You have pair beads, the scales of justice, the angel eye rings. Yeah. Also, I have 1 wing, 2 wing, 3 wing, 3 wing, 3 wing, 4 wing, 5 wing, and then the 6th wing over here. I have like this. So wait, let me. So this is draft 2. Let me pull up draft 1 actually. And this is my inspiration so far. I have monk aesthetics. Yes. So I have all this stuff here, right? These are my inspirations so far. This is like my mood board for what I have, for this design here. I don't know if you guys go back to my lore video, you'll see the first remnants of my angel form. And so this is sort of like divas. These are bodhisattvas. Some of them is Izanami or Izanagi. Some of them are this right here is Izanami and Izanagi, the founders of Japan, basically, in the mythos. But yeah, some of them are like cartoonish renditions of like Seraphim, for example. So we have Seraphim over here, I think no, that's like I think this is just an OC that I got off. I should probably, anyways, that's sort of like the inspirations. But yeah, my devil trigger is going to be a bit more complicated. I have it. Let me pull it up. So okay. Let me also just sort of make a new thing here real quick, just to sort of get the idea down. So here's the idea, right? So here's the idea. Okay. Let me also get this real quick. Concept art. What do we have? Can I open another thing? I don't think I have this developed. Wait a second. Let me do this real quick. Yeah, it's just bare bones structure. For that one, I think. Let me make sure this one doesn't have anything that's revealing. It's like personal information revealing. Okay, this one should be fine. I think. Whoopsie doodle. There we go. Look at all this. Look at this. Look at this. I wonder if you guys can see the remnants of like what I have developing here in my current design here too. You see my horns? They're not like jutting out like that, but this is sort of the idea that I have here. I think I remember the way I was making this was basically you see Le Horned? Yeah, we have this whole I have like, I don't know what it was, but I was inspired by like some samurai, I think, designs. It really is a double trigger, right? Pull my double trigger, baby. Pull my double trigger. But essentially, I had like this blotch of all this stuff here. Like I had a blotch of just starting with this here, and then I shape and sculpt things to become the way they are now. But yeah, oh shit, oh wait, I just realized I did not put a different layer on this. Oh well. But yeah, this is sort of the idea that I had in mind. This is stuff I've had in high school. I've made this in high school, so yeah. It's the dragon the dragon brows. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but I felt inspired by like to have like horns from the brows, essentially. And then we have like spikes for the head going wherever. In fact, let me maybe see if I can get this illustrated properly here. So in here we have whoopsie doodle, wait. So we have like this, right? If we were to make the classic, oh my god, it's been a while since I've drawn, so I can't even draw a perfect circle anymore. But essentially we just have this right here. Get rid of that. If I think about it, the way I drew it, then it's like this, essentially. Something like this, where it'll be clear. Something like this, I believe. It'll be clear. It'll be clear here. Oh my god. Oh, no. Wait. I have no idea if this is making any sense, but it's something like that. Side profile. I am making the side profile right now. Hoping that it looks cool, honestly. And then I have something like this, I think, going on. Because I thought it was like a cool idea to just have something with the horns here be like a hood or like a collar type thing. It would look something like this, essentially. And then where things are right at the neck. I hope this is looking understandable. Oh man. Okay, right there. No, wait. There we go. I think the goal here was to essentially come up with my own designs. I made this in high school, so this might need some updating at some point to sort of really show development here. But regardless, I think this was the idea. And yeah, there we go, side profile with the whole with all this stuff going on here. Something like this, yeah. Anyway, that's that. And this is my double trigger. Pull my double trigger. I needed to focus on that because I was like trying to get that down quickly, but yeah. Okay. Well, in any case, here's the full design that I'm going for. And then here's it in action. And I'm gonna continue working with this. I don't know whether or not to make these obsidian black here, but yeah. There is a Nephilim trigger, by the way. There is a Nephilim trigger, so there's gonna be that. There's gonna be that developed. But yeah. Okay. Yin Yang? Yeah. Where? Oh, wait. Yeah. I do have like Taoism. I wonder where on my design you can spot the Taoism. Actually, the Taoist symbols. That actually makes me want to talk about sort of like the whole magic system actually that I have in mind for this actually, which I think I'm going to talk about here actually. So sort of like the lore ideas, I guess you could say. Let's go for it. Lore. So I'm trying to think about what things that I'm willing to talk about for a little bit. So we have basically modern Earth, right? And there is gonna be basically, oh my god, nope, I need this stipulation off. Okay, so we have modern Earth, with basically, with your whole science spiel. You have science, you have the mystics essentially, and there's gonna be things like, I mean, there is a heaven, right? There is a heaven, there is a hell in this world that I have. There's gonna be something with the 7 heavenly virtues, if you know about that. 7 heavenly virtues, which, if you all don't know, that's gonna be something like, there's gonna be justice, there's gonna be temperance, there's gonna be fortitude or courage essentially, or strength really. Fortitude, there's gonna be there's prudence. Prudence is apparently number 1. There's also, I think these are the 4 cardinal virtues, but then there's something like charity, faith, and hope. This is involved because when you are born, or when you are a citizen of heaven, essentially, and you are born sort of in the Christian system in heaven, then what you have is going to be like one of these is going to be your primaries as like a citizen of heaven. You're an angel. And God has said, the God institution, with the counsel of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, have basically worked to assign you one of these as basically your purpose, essentially. And the thing with what I have for heaven in this world is that it's gonna be like, heaven is simply like this land where you'll have the Christian sort of theology kind of cohabitating with the sort of ancient Eastern traditions traditional spiritual religious like faculties essentially. So essentially you could have something like Jesus talking with Nua, or whoever is in the god position or in the godly dictating positions. They could talk and have tea with the Jade Emperor, talking about like reports or the usual essentially. Like heaven's supposed to be like this very organized, very almost paradise like haven, where you can have Aphrodite working in the Song of Solomon kind of portion of things. or like Iris, I think Osiris communing with the angel of death essentially. And it's to basically show that like heaven in this modern earth is kind of like this pan-cultural, this cross-cultural kind of place where anything divine finds a place in this world, in this essentially. I haven't thought much about hell. I haven't thought much about hell yet. But hell does have this like mirror thing here where if you have the 7 heavenly virtues, you also have the 7 deadly sins essentially. Did I just... Okay, you also have the 7 deadly sins here. And that's kind of like that's kind of a thing. And of course you have like pride. You have pride, you have wrath, you have greed, you have envy, you have lust, and then you have sloth. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's one thing I'm not remembering. Pride, wrath, greed, envy, lust, sloth. Not vanity. I think vanity is something else. What was it? Gluttony, there we go. Yeah, you have gluttony. Of course, you have all this stuff here, essentially. And then I also have like this idea of nth spaces, essentially. Nth spaces. So this is where you'll find like magical beings, like your eldritch lords, essentially. Eldritch beings. So that's there. Maybe your non-Euclidean dimensions, essentially. And then maybe you'll have, I don't know. You'll have a lot of stuff. But yeah. So this is sort of like a little bit of the systems that I have going on here and things that I'm exploring. And yeah. And this is going to be like showing glimpses of that in my little story that I'm writing. I don't know, but this is sort of like a magic system that I've been thinking about and hope it's kind of interesting for other people to hear about, essentially. Oh, god damn it. No. Bun, hello. I was talking about this story I'm writing, and what I have planned for it, essentially. How are you, Bun? It's been a while. Hisashiburi. It's just, I'm glad, I'm having fun nerding out about my whole magic system thing that I have going on here. Oh man, I'm like nerding out about my own nerdy stuff. Why do I have angel? Why does my angel have yin and yang? It's been a while. Sorry for not being around the recent couple streams. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're all good. You're all good. Why does my angel have yin and yang? So that kind of goes into the whole way the heaven works in my lore thing. So basically the why is because it's kind of seen as virtuous. So yin and yang, right? There's gonna be a bit of that in here as well. I'm like diving deep into it. So for people who are lost, maybe for people who are lost about what it is that I'm talking about my sort of lore world essentially. And for future lore videos I'm gonna put out, you'll see like this system in place here. So and that'll be me. You'll see me here doing some things. But yeah, with regards to the lore videos and such. So yeah, maybe I want to turn it into a series. So yeah, anyways, so my angel form, this guy here, he has yang. He has yang, and I'm pretty sure yang and the yin yang, in the yin yang here, I'm pretty sure that yang is actually the white portion with the black dot in there. Yang with a bit of yin, and then yin with yang. And then this is actually going on a spiral. I think it's the actual symbology of it, is that the yin yang symbol is actually going in a twisting motion. And that's just to basically show that the way the world works is that you have one end and then you have another, and that they work together in this kind of push-pull contrast dynamic thing that kind of goes in a spiral. And it's what creates like a sense of differences, but then also a sense of progress for people, for beings like humans. You guys love a difference. Even if you might hate it, you love a feeling of difference. Why? Because it's what makes you feel like you have a goal to do, either to get rid of it or to integrate it somehow, find some way. And sometimes it's not something that's like, it's something you'll feel like you'll feel something that's like exciting or devastating if you have a difference. Essentially, if you have a difference, and sometimes that could be a difference to work towards or a difference that you want to get rid of. And so yeah, so my angel, but yeah, anyways, that's just sort of like what I think about for Taoism and this spiral thing. Not to get all too nerdy and philosophical here and such, but that's really that. that's sort of the reason why that I have this. But for anyone else who's like maybe coming in and kind of wondering what the hell's going on, you always get nerdy. I do get nerdy. I do get really nerdy because I like thinking. So I guess like a philosophical point for my whole thing here, for the whole heaven and hell and the fact that in my story Nephilim are like very, very rare. They're like not supposed to happen at all. Like within billions and billions of years, Nephilim, there's like only been 2 Nephilim that have been born so far in my story. So it's like they probably really shouldn't happen, but they do happen. Why do they happen? Because things change. That is the way of everything. So that's kind of like the philosophical point. It's just like how can like sort of, how do you live as like a minority of like 2? Basically, how do you live as like a minority of two in a world that is like this interesting kind of like heaven where you have, in fact, actually, let me just go through it here. You'll have like this heaven that's essentially, you'll have this heaven that can where it's basically Judeo-Christian interacting with Eastern ideas of heaven. And then you can have like these offshoots here of like maybe other things that are divine that will also exist in heaven. Maybe you'll have like the Nordic, maybe Asgard will be up here. So like Asgard will be up here. Then you'll have like maybe any like Wicca or Zoroastrianism, I think. The Z religion that I can't pronounce, but I hope you know what I'm talking about. And then maybe like even African tribal stuff that exists here. So basically you'll have this for any religion across the world, whatever thing is virtuous, it'll go into here. It'll be in heaven, essentially. And for my instances here, for my instances of this world, we'll have like this almost temple-like thing, basically, where it's like God is the temple here. Essentially, God is the temple full of like these systems up at the top where you have the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. These are councils, and Jesus is going to be in charge of the Son Council, where his executive decisions go. And then maybe what houses the God Council would be like Zeus and other kind of like executive god deciding people, essentially, and throughout religions. And the Holy Spirit will be basically kind of like whatever the Holy Spirit is. But then you might have other things where it's like you have the Song of Solomon, and then maybe you have like Virgin Mary, where Mother Mary does exist, but then all these other things. So yeah. And then you have like your angels here at the lower, where they're at like the front grounds, basically making heaven work. I don't know how exactly I'm gonna get to that, but basically anything, yeah. So this is sort of like what the heavenly dimension would be, essentially. And this is where the whole, under this portion here, you have the 7 heavenly virtues. I'm going to call it HV, of like justice, prudence, fortitude, faith, hope. We'll do this. Faith, hope. We have charity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then there's 7. Prudence. Wait. Temperance. There we go. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So there's all that there. I don't know what's gonna happen for the eastern portions of heaven, but you will have like basically sort of like a yang focus, essentially, and maybe Confucius will be up there. Lao Tzu would be up there. Lao Tzu will be up here. Sun Wukong or any other bodhisattvas or Buddhas. Sun Wukong. Maybe there will be the Buddha up there. The Buddha. So I don't know. I think it would be really funny to just have Jesus and Sun Wukong talk one out over wine. I don't know. I think of like this. I think about those interactions in this world and how kind of funny it would be for a monkey man who literally was just too stubborn to die, talk to one who was willing to give up their life so for the forgiveness of a cardinal sin for others, or like original sin for others. And it's like it's funny. I feel like it'd be a really interesting dynamic in heaven. Maybe very bit chaotic. So yeah, I haven't heard of me speak of Wukong in a while. It's on my mind. It's on my mind. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if y'all are keeping up with this, essentially. I don't know what, I mean, if any of y'all have like questions about what it is that I even have going on here. And other things for the hell of my world. You shall try. Lamau, you shall try. I see. Anyways, this doesn't matter. Anyway, let's just get back to drawing. I'm done nerding out. But maybe look into underrated or less unknown religions. So basically it's not the fact that well, rather, I like learning less known. Yeah, I like learning about the different ways people see virtue around the world, essentially. So different cultures have different ideas about what's considered like virtuous. Many people have different interpretations. Many people have different ideas about spirituality, some of which are like, and it's, I think of it as just to like, what do a lot of people tend to think about whenever it comes to like, what's good? What is the good, essentially, for this particular group of people and that other particular group of people? So, for example, growing up, I kind of thought of like sex to be basically a conservative thing. Like you primarily just shoo away from topics of sex, essentially. And you don't really talk much about it. And sex, for anything less than, or for anything more than just creation of a baby, yeah, that's all that it should serve for. But in this Hinduistic or Buddhist, or like in Buddhism or Hindu religions, you have Tantra. And Tantra is basically seeing sex as spiritual energy, essentially. Sex is actually a divine thing, apparently. And so I think it'd be interesting if we could have Tantra and one part of the Bible talking about the Song of Solomon, which is like this very erotic, very explicit part, like sexual part of the Bible talking together. And that's just that. So the more sex, the stronger. The more valued you do sexual acts, the stronger your kundalini, apparently, is what it would be. I think it's something like that. Anyways, that what made me interested in sort of going into like these lesser known religions, essentially, it's basically to like, it's because I've always had like an interest in just learning more about things outside what I know, like just learning more about the world. You know, I like to be more cultured, basically. And so I went into stuff like this. Your kundalini is stronger than my tortiklini. What the heck? What? Yes, I see. Your Kundalini is so strong. It's so plentiful. Anyway, yeah. Also, I have certain themes present in my angel design right now. So my angel form, so I said in my lore, right, in my lore world, that I'm going to have angels that are born with a specific virtue. They're gonna have a primary and a secondary virtue. And so my character here, he's born. Can you guys guess, before I say anything, can you guys guess what primary virtues this angel form represents? Sex can be seen differently even by people who aren't religious, which is interesting. That is true. That is true. I also go more into just, I don't like look at sex from. Sadly, you cannot guess because you're a dumbass. Guess anyways. Do it anyways. I do not care. This is secondary. This is secondary. Mm-hmm. You were gonna say justice, actually? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's justice, and I'm gonna point it out because of the way he's so clothed here. Any more guesses? I wonder. But yeah. So for Neph here, for me, you're looking at what he had in his hand. Yeah, he's got the scale of justice here, essentially. He's got like his own form of the scale of justice. So for Neph here, for me, in my angel trigger. In my angel trigger form. The primary here is going to be justice, and then you recently learned virtues of angels. Don't ask why you know. Why? So actually, the 7 heavenly virtues. The 7 heavenly virtues. Which is what the angels are going to be born with, essentially. Citizens of heaven. Is that an Among Us? No. Where are you seeing Among Us? Where are you seeing Among Us? What? Anyway. Where are you seeing Among Us? What? Look at the word God. Below God. Freaking memers. Freaking memers? No. But yeah. That I probably should not. I guess I'm designing what this temple is going to look like here in this case. Now. This is probably not gonna, this is like a tentative design. And then we have the Council of Heaven. in the temple of God, with the three councils that decide the morality of the people of Earth, where we have the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit. And all these convene. All these convene together and talk with the Jade Emperor of Ancient Ocean. Do you have any inspiration for the temple you want to draw? Neff has the scales of justice, yet his blindfold makes far more for my eyes than he is covering. Blindfold makes for more eyes than he is covering. Wait, what? Do I have any inspiration for the temple I want to draw? Not necessarily. I don't have any ideas for exactly the temple for this god temple in heaven that I want to exactly make. It is gonna be like heavily like inspired by probably, you know, what you would see in churches essentially, but I might have certain portions of this temple inspired from other religions and spirituality systems that that respect that cultures and religions kind of like aesthetics essentially. So there's gonna be part of this temple in the Judeo-Christian Western portion of heaven is there's gonna be like Egyptian gods and goddesses. There's gonna be the Greek and Roman gods and goddesses. I want to I'll have like a little like healthy competition rivalry between the Roman and Greek gods in here, but they'll convene together whenever they're they'll convene together whenever they need to make like unanimous decisions in the court of in the heavenly court here. Celestial, wow, heavenly court in the temple of God, for sounding severely sounding like celestial courts in Eastern Heaven. Anyway, so honestly, you would expect Neff to be Charity since Neff is half. Neff is a bounty hunter. I'm a bounty hunter, guys. Oh man, I'm a bounty hunter. Yeah. Neff is Charity? Murder is also Charity. No, wait. No! 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 No. But yeah. I do have another character whose angel form is Charity. Don't mind the halo and horns. I'm just a normal bounty hunter, says Neff casually. I'm just a bounty hunter. I'm a bounty hunter. So in the God, I want to show you guys the story. I want to show you guys the story because it's maybe I can read. I don't know. Oh, I don't know if I want to read it out loud now though. Should I read a little bit of what I have out loud? Should I read a little bit of what I have out loud? Yes. Yes. Do it. Okay. 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 Let me find a good part to... Let me find a good part to... read out here. Read out loud here. Okay. Okay. Your story was supposed to be read too? Ah. I think the way that I have my story, it's actually better if you read it yourself, but yeah. Let me find an interesting part. Okay. Let's try it here. Okay, I'm reading it now. Off in the distance, there's a stranger walking into a back alley. That doesn't seem right. The way they walked seemed to be part struggle and part hypnotic trance, and the origin of the faint tracing seems to link back to there as well. It thickens as I slowly continue my way towards the stranger. Homeless people begging for money, relying on the charitable nature of people who are so greedy. Some kneel with their hands out, others just look up with a plea in their eyes. The ragged beards, messy hair, dirt plastered all over their sweats, ripped shirts, and bruises on their knees makes all this such a sorry sight. Odors of garbage dump, cigarette smoke, and agony that makes me sick as my eyebrows furrow with tension between my eyes. My nose crinkles. Please give us anything, dear sir, an old man croons. I speak nothing as I continue walking, observing the ley line activity. Tiny spaces, about 10 homeless people. Ley lines thick in orange-yellow hues. Where? One homeless person latches on to me, holding me tight. Please, give us something! Their eyes scream with the darkness imposed on them. Others have gotten up from their station as they take steps towards me. I aggressively shove the one latching onto me and they hit the ground with a hard crash. Careful, don't hurt them too badly. I look around. Another tries to take hold of my arms from behind, yet I sweep behind me and punch them into the group. They topple over with a groan and moan of pain, and the onslaught keeps coming. When 2 of the homeless people get knocked over, I turn to see a character clad in blonde hair and golden eyes, taking the one stranger that was walking into the space here, and orange hues exuding off her frame. Ley line activity are vibrating with the tense resonance around her. Bingo. She has the stranger by the jaw, keeping her body around his as she stares into his eyes with hunger. Gotta move. Now! My feet march as I lean back, just slightly enough to dodge a fist thrown by one of the homeless people, then knocking them out with a straight to their jaw. Sing! Cling! A katana whirs in the air and sticks itself into the brick wall in front of me. What follows is the clapping of boots against the ground, followed by a sharp, instantaneous pressure right across my jaw, knocking me to the side. A girl in a red cropped jacket lands in front of me, looking up with an indignant smile. How annoying. Her sunglasses gleam and she jumps up. Her thigh-high boots hit the ground with a thud as she rises and takes the katana out from the wall. Not so fast, Mr. Copycat! The command echoes through the alleyway. The blonde-haired woman eyes us with a squint and wraps her arms around the strangers, sauntering off into the flow of strangers once again. My fist tightens, and I feel my blood boil as I look at the girl in front of me. Punching homeless people? That's so not okay! She takes a step and swings her katana at me with unnatural speed, leaving me barely enough time to dodge out of the way. Not human. Angel? Demon? Chaotic creature? Surely. She takes several more swings, stepping forward. Her crummy smile makes me grit my teeth and tighten my fists harder. And then I'm ending that here. Well, how's that reading? Wait, since you've been getting more into writing, maybe we could do a writing stream once in a blue? Maybe we could do I collab with chat to write something. Maybe that we could do that and that'd be fun. What'd you guys think? From that dramatic reading. Oh my god, I'm realizing I need to make the prose like that's a fun idea. Yeah, I need to make the writing here like more refined, but I guess I could do that on a second draft. Anyways, yeah. It's a fun day. It's good. Yeah. Interested? Let's go. Yeah, we could do that. We could absolutely do that. You like how you added sound effects in your reading? Yeah. I wanna... The way I have things right now is that we could totally collab things that include me, my character here. We can include things, my character here, and I guess I'm gonna say it. I have another character. Her name's Kay the Nephilim. And so the Mr. Copycat is Kay. Her name's Caitlin Jade. And based in... Oh my god, I'm gonna... When I get done writing this story, I'm gonna... Well, I'll show it to you guys. Anyway, I have a whole thing with Caitlin. And, yeah, it's gonna be... It's gonna be fun. I feel like it's gonna be really fun. Let's write Kaiju versus Mecha. Sorry, but... Bun's persona is the Kaiju. Lamau. Oh my god. So, the idea here, the thing here, we'll do, what is it? See? Bet Lamau. So I have Caitlin and me here, Cool the Nephilim, or Neph, however you want to say it. However, which one you want to go with. Or Cool. K and Cool, or K and Neph. Show the emotions he wants to show perfectly. Yes, Mr. Neph showed the emotions he wants to show perfectly. Yeah. So, the way I have these two, gold hair girl, she quirky. Gold hair girl, she, the context to the rest of the story is actually, that gold hair girl, she is, a fallen angel. So, the way that fallen angels work in my little magic system here is that, they have, like, so because of the fact that they're born in this, right? They're born here in this Judeo-Christian thing. And thus born with a kind of virtue. I had the idea for this fallen angel girl to be born of charity, of the virtue. Not Have you seen season 2 of Panty Stalking, by the way? Has anyone seen it? I'm currently watching it right now. They changed the voice actor for Panty. Oh my god. They changed the voice actor for Panty. Not yet. I'm not gonna say anything then. I'm not gonna say anything. You saw only one episode. Oh man. What a show. I love it. I love Panty and Stalking. Anyway, so the fallen angel girl, she is essentially she's essentially an angel originally of charity. You need to see season 1 first. They changed both voices, but there's definitely a big reason. Why. I see. Yeah. So, anyways, the fallen angel, the blonde hair, gold eyes. She was originally a angel of charity, and then she kind of got corrupted by basically the sin of greed. And so her thing is that she's like kind of gathering all these people who have either donated to charity or are corporate people, because we all know that corporation stuff is about greed. We know it. No. Anyway, she's gathering like all these people and essentially kind of, I haven't fleshed out exactly how she's kind of like almost like in a sense eating them. It's gonna be like a life drain, basically, like a spiritual, physical life drain of sorts. And yeah. So yeah. That's why she has like all these. Why she has like a stranger wrapped around her, because she's like draining his life. I need to think about that. I need to think about that a bit more. But yeah. Anyways, what should we write about at some point? They say selfishness and selflessness are the same coin. Honestly, in some ways, sure. Yeah. I mean, depends on how like you really want to think about it, right? In some ways, the way they present themselves, like, people can do charitable acts for selfish reasons, but it doesn't distance from the fact that they did a charitable act, right? Regardless of whatever motivation they did. And it comes down to this idea of like doing things versus the why you do things, the motivations, right? What do I think yours and Back's virtues would be? From my perspective and in my world, where the virtues and sins are a thing, I would say, Bun, for you, you are definitely hope. Your primary virtue would be hope. And then for Back would be, I feel like Back would be fortitude. I think that'd be it. Yeah. That would be it. If you two were like members of heaven, like citizens of heaven, then Bun would definitely be hope, and then Back would be fortitude. Oh man. Me here, I'm of justice. Neff's thing, yeah, I mean, you can see right here, right? Neff right over here he's justice with the secondary virtue of temperance. And I was hoping that, like, with the fact that he's so dressed up in like this robe and such, that temperance would be another thing. But yeah. Now, we can go the reverse. What if you two were demons? What if you two were members of hell? What do you guys think your sins would be? I think I know the primary sin for Bun. I think I know the primary sin for Bun, honestly. Ah, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah. L Bun. Oh no. Oh man. Mm-hmm. Enlighten you? Oh, I'm asking you guys the question. L. Okay, so what do you two think your seven deadly sin would be if you were a demon of hell in my world? Ooh. Oh, I should probably also talk about like how the virtues and sins relate to powers, essentially. So I mean, it is a magic system, so there is magic, and there are going to be magic abilities that have themes that follow the virtue or sin. And if you're a Nephilim, you can't be lust, gluttony, or pride. So does that mean you're like sloth, or? Oh, you mean I see. Yeah. Okay. So. Oh frick! God damn it. Wait, here we go. So this right here, this is what the acronyms are saying here essentially, right? This is what I can see. Bun, yeah, for bun, she's yeah, they're definitely this. Bun is definitely this. So for back though, not that, and apparently not that. Oh, you mean L as in yeah, you thought of that too. Yeah. I know what my my sin would be. You can be envious. You can be. Is it the thing like you struggle with most though? Oh my god, my eye. But you say not most likely. You'd say not most likely. My thing that I struggle with honestly is that I get angry. Not like so easily, but it's something you're sloth. Yeah, I see. So cool. Oh man, cool. Like it's cool enough. You do a lot of things, but you wait for the perfect time to go. So sloth it is. I see. I mean, in some sense, that could also be, in some way, prudence. But prudence can oftentimes. So prudence is about like good judgment, wisdom, essentially. But that also means that you have to like sort of deliberate and calculate when is or what is the right things. And sometimes when you overthink, you can overthink it and you essentially go into apathy. Like you just don't do anything if you overthink stuff. So that's something interesting. So yeah. Then I guess in my world you probably would have like so for Bun, wasn't there a chastity virtue? I'm going off. Oh, so chastity is not part of the mainstream theological virtues, which is what I kind of go off of. There is like but there are like the cardinal virtues, which is kind of, I think, talked about in the Bible. If not, it's like some kind of theme around the Bible or something. I need to look into it a bit more. But I probably would put chastity under temperance, honestly. Because if you think about chastity, that's about keeping purity and essentially you're restraining yourself from sexual impulses, right? So, and temperance is all about kind of restraint and self-control and discipline. That's kind of what... So chastity can probably go under temperance, essentially. If that, like, makes sense. I feel like people who are gonna come into this stream are gonna be like, "You saying something before you interrupted?" No. So I was just saying that like that chastity is under temperance, essentially. Like chastity would be here. But what was I saying? Was I saying something? I don't remember. Anyway, but yeah. Oh. They're gonna think we're making a cult over anime characters. Oh man. Like the 7 deadly sins or whatever. Yeah, nah. Yeah, things are good. Now I just have so many ideas, and I have my document out right now, and like the first draft of my little story. I'm excited to show it. Honestly, I'm excited to share it when I start writing it through more and finishing this first draft and then polishing it up more. This is God, I need a oh man. So yeah, anyway, I'm excited, and I want to make a comic out of it if I can too, like how I used to do whenever I would like wait for the bus growing up. I'd like wait for my bus, and you didn't get to say how much you see my improvement in my drawing. I think this just seems like it's kind of regular, no? It kind of seems typical to me, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. What is it called when you capitalize on a situation, when you take advantage of it? Seizing an opportunity? You mean? Is that... Yeah, like you seize the opportunity. Yes. But yeah. We call that being an influencer. Oh man. Okay, hold up. I need to actually fill in some of this stuff now. You're an opportunist, so sloth works. I see. We were still talking about the what Back's sin would be. Does a TikTok dance out the door? Lamau. Let's see. But yeah. You couldn't find the words. An opportunist. I see. You could definitely see Slother back at when you focus on the word you're thinking of, you lose it. Lamau, especially from a story he told you. Lamau? Back told you a story about him being a sloth, about him being an opportunist. Interesting. Which one? That's crazy. Do that. We'll do that there. Oh, brother. What? Okay, wait. There we go. The fake man, the friend story, the fake man. Interesting. I need to make this smaller. Okay. Oh man. It wasn't a story about sloth, but you were thinking about it, and you can get a picture of Baxen. I see. Yeah. Bun, what would you... Wait, did you already say? Did you already say what you think your sin would be? If... I think you already did, yeah. Yeah, we already... Lust, yeah. Lust. With the amount of times you'd say you would smash something. And then we would be like, Bun, stop! Oh my god. Opportunity. No, yeah. L Bun, less 100%, but on other levels. I mean, regardless. But yeah, so you would have like a, you would definitely have a, like a magical ability that goes along with your, with the theme of that, essentially, with the theme of lust. In this case, I think I might put lust as more so like desire, but we can also do sexual desire. You will slam this L up your ass back. God damn it. What the fuck? Oh man. I need to figure out what the... What am I making? The color for this Hagoromo here. I guess we could do white, but I feel like white is just all over now on this design. But I don't know. You're half awake. Lust is desire, but greed is to want or to have. Greed is about hoarding. Lust and greed are similar in some ways. Greed is more about hoarding, really. Greed is about keeping more than you need, essentially. And desire is really more so about like the thrill of wanting. Yeah. Envy is about disgust for what you lack, essentially. Those are like distinct things, if that makes sense. They all center around like this kind of idea. If you're envious of someone, you discuss what you lack and kind of wish you were someone else, essentially. You kind of wish you were someone else. And that's sort of this idea about envy. And then for lust, it's really about like the thrill of that want, essentially. Which is why it's sort of like, it's kind of never ending. You can lust for a lot of stuff. Because it's like the thrill of new, the thrill of sex, the thrill of this sort of particular idea, thing that you really desire, essentially. And greed can be sort of about like just kind of keeping and not losing anything. Thrill can be very addictive. It can. It's I mean, that's like the whole like stuff that is thrilling is well, I mean, that's kind of, fuck you, R sloth Lama. You play Valo like a rat. Oh my god, that's crazy. Oh, you play Val. That's crazy. Oh my god. Okay, hold up. I just get pissed off, honestly. I just get really pissed off. Which is why it's my deadly sin, frankly. I don't get pissed off often, but I get pissed off, so the thrill gets them high. Yeah. It is. It does. It does. I mean, that's like the thing with like, I mean, I was gonna say that's the thing with like a lot of addiction, right? But I mean, on one hand though, the thrill can be like a very illuminating experience. You know what I mean? The thrill is only addicting depending on whether or not you're trying to get away from a certain feeling. Addiction kind of is about pushing towards to pull away, while I think the thrill and the joy of it in a way that's healthy is about sort of giving, I think. It's kind of like giving, but then also about like the fact that you indulge in it and you don't need it essentially. You are he wants me inside a midwife. I am he who waits for you in mid. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You'll just go into mid, wait for them, and then just bop their head out, bop their head with like a operator. Oh my god. Oh, that's what you're saying you do, huh? That's what you're saying you actually do. Oh, you rat. You rat. Oh my god. Oh man. Where's the skin? That's the gold. No, that's the wings. Where the hell is the skin? What? That's the wings. That's that. Where the hell did I put the skin? Where's the skin? Is that... No. What? Dude. You're so good at predictions. You could stab kill every game. That's crazy. That's crazy. Dude, I can't. I just get pissed off. TSPMO. TSPMO. What the hell? Hold on. Okay, so it's on... Is it? Oh, it's part of the hood. It's part of the hood layer. Fuck. You have the most backstabs in Ascent. Bro played so much. He knows the map and knows the plays to get the most kills out of everyone. That is crazy. Okay. Dude. I can't, man. I can't. Genuinely. That is crazy plays if you can do that. Okay. What color should I make? Should I make this here? God. Because I'm thinking of obsidian. Black obsidian. But I gotta think about like other... It's outside outside market. Oh. Interesting. What is it? Heavenly stones. Let's do this. What stones? No. Stones that represent heaven. Light gray? I don't know about that. I'm just looking at all this over here, so... Go really out, far out. Gemstones of Heaven, the green crystal. Precious stones of heaven. 12 gemstones of heaven. They'll break the door, then you can do the thing as a yeah? Diamond? Emerald. I think I have to do the emerald for Caitlin Jade. Lapis lazuli. An onyx. Pearl. Ruby. Sapphire. Sardonyx. Topaz. Turquoise. I think I'll probably just do... ah, fuck it. We'll do amethyst. We'll do amethyst. We'll do it. It's his color. It's his color. Plus it represents justice. So let's do it. Amethyst it is. Your Steven Universe heart can't take this. Yeah. Does it represent? Okay, okay. We'll do this. We'll do the beads. Okay. Then we'll do it again. Then you'll say I'll do it for him. Okay. Steven Universe, dude. Some pretty good songs. Some pretty good songs. You have an amethyst under your pillow? Oh. Nice, nice, nice. This makes sense. They did not need to nerf chambers so much. Oh, it was actually the gemstone you told me about when we were speaking about a release. I see. When that mouse coming? You order a new mouse? I figured, I see. It's the... stone that you charge, right? You're getting in October? Oh, you need to get one of Valo? I see, I see. Yeah, you still have your computer thing, huh? Should I make a Hagoromo? The whole time? Hold on. I need to... because we have red, we have... ooh, what's the color for temperance, actually? Because I'll make it that color. I'll make it that color. Did you... I don't know. You can use the drawing. You only said trackpad. It should get censored. I think it's probably more so an Android, like a Wi-Fi thing. I mean, I can imagine using a trackpad on Valo. I don't think that would be like a very pleasant experience, though. I think that'd be very frustrating. Oh man. Purple is what? Chastity white. Temperance purple. What? That doesn't sound right. Valo doesn't support it back. back sent you a video so to help, but you've been busy on League. You play League. Oh. 7 Lee virtues. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why? You don't invite me. I'm still practicing still, but yeah, you're practicing with bots. You bagel. You am. Oh my god. You play League? You played League? You played League? You played League? You play League? Oh man. Faith, theological virtues of faith, hope, and charity. You play Deadlock too. Mm-hmm. That's good, that's good. 7 capital virtues. Addicted to Deadlock. They've been streaming it for a week or 2 now. That's crazy. That is crazy. Can you guys hear the music? Have I just been playing this music on the monitor? No, it should be on monitor output. Okay, cool. Barely? Okay. Let's put it up a bit more. Tiny bit. Okay, I was wondering. There, is that better? Is that too loud now? Oh yeah. Okay, cool. You do a sound check for 4 streamers now. I think that's just chat's job at this point in time, honestly. I think that's just chat's that's just chat's job. I'm back to sound guy. So I guess I'm actually going with a different doctrine for the 7 heavenly virtues, but which means I'm probably going with like the cardinal virtues actually. No, it's the 7 heavenly virtues. Okay. Yeah. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay. What colors? purple. What colors represent justice? Also purple! What? What? Oh man. Moral superiority. Ah, yes, my character is just morally superior to you all. Marvel says purple is for power. Oh, that's Marvel. I'm going with, like, theology here. Ooh. What is this site? What? Yeah, what is this site? This looks shady as shit. Huh? What is the strongest color to represent power? I don't know. Blue represents justice, honesty, and fidelity. Purple. Purple. Oh my god. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's not art-wise, but virtue-wise. I think you're gonna have to clarify that. What do you like? What do you mean by that? Okay. You know what? You know what? You know what? We're gonna go with this. Oh no, wait, that's still the beads. You have no clue, you're just thinking out there. I mean, I think a lot of people would often associate power with like red or something like that. Or black. Black for power? I don't know about that, man. Really? Black for power? Oh, shit. Oh shit, no wait, that's not what I meant to do. That's right, and that's being covered there. This is the sword. That means that that's probably over here back there somewhere. Black is the highest rank in one of them kingdoms. One of them kingdoms? In which kingdom though? What? Then we go zoom into here, go to there. Not back becoming southern. Oh my god. Don't even. Okay. But I think red is normally associated with power, no? I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure anyways. Like red and black. Why would red be the color? Is it because of its intensity? It's because of the fact that like red is just kind of associated with blood. You know, red blood. Usually if blood is spilled, that means something that you couldn't muscle the accent, bruh. Accent. We're good. Accent. What the hell? What about the color that represents willpower? Green? Green? Willpower should be blue. Why blue? What? Why would it be blue? Why would? Hello, Chirac. I'm not gonna say what you just said, but hello, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. I would advise to be respectful here. Oh man. Yeah, why would it be blue though? Yummy saltines. Oh man. Oh, bro, what the fuck? Blue balls. Oh my god. I see. Hello Bun on Twitch. Bun on Twitch. Okay, hold on. Wait a second. Hankoromo. We got the gold here. But it's not blue if you lost your willpower. What makes willpower blue though? I feel like what would I even think with like willpower being blue? Or like willpower. I feel like willpower would be green. Like plants. Like if you think about plants, they usually always find a way to like grow through concrete and such. You know? But like Green Lantern, yeah, you know what, yeah, kind of like that. The Green Lantern core does use green for willpower. You're right. right? Like, that's one way to think about it. Yeah. Yeah. You know, like persistence. Yeah, like plants and weeds and such. Plants and weeds are such persistent little bastards. Oh my god. TSPMO, bro. TSPMO. Like, especially when it's like an invasive species. But then wouldn't stalkers also be green? Stalker. Oh, you know, also, green is also associated with envy, I'm pretty sure. Or greed, somewhere there. What really is a weed? Twitter users are also weeds, bro, because the grass is greener. Me included, bro. Because the grass is greener. Grass is greener? Oh my god. I mean in a way, oh my god. What colors would other concepts be? What color would other concepts be, do you think? So just realize that's probably not. There we go. L would be Bun's favorite color. Lamau? What makes you say that? Greed would be yellow. Eat your bagels back. Lamau. Oh my god. You know what? Yeah. Oh man, I need to catch up with Don. Oh, I need to catch up with Don, dude. Scrolling on Twitter for a little bit. You're too lazy. Knew it. Your favorite color is pink, though. Is lust pink? Is lust pink at this point? Is that what it is? Is that what it's gonna be? Oh my god, Jesus Christ. It can't be from how you see it. How? Pink is the color of love and desire. It's so interesting, like, what people think. So I feel like pink usually gets associated with, like, some kind of, like, red. You know what I mean? Does it not? Yeah, is it pink, red, and white? Pink is red, but brighter? No. Pink is red, but less red. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Let me show you what I mean. Let me show you what I mean. Yes. Okay, maybe I don't need to show you what I mean. But for those who probably don't know what I mean... For those who probably don't know what I mean... So, here's like... So, like, here's red. Very annoying, very... Could also be darker. Yes. So, here's red. And then... Here's pink. And then if I bring over the color wheel here over here. Actually, wait a second. Let me just go here. And then I'll just bring the color wheel over here. Wait. No way, I'm scared about that. You know what? We'll just do this. We'll just do that. Yeah, so if we just... A lighter red, in this case, is pink, would be fitting with the concept of love and desire. At least in my opinion. I mean, we also have, like, different varieties of pink, right? I mean, this can be considered pink. This can be considered pink. It's kind of like a hot pink, I guess, or like a colder pink. And then this is also pink as well. This is probably like a hotter pink at this point. But it's like a kind of... This is starting to look like skin tones, actually. Wait. Red, a darker red would represent power. A dark red or dark red. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. Probably like right around here. Is this the power you guys were thinking about? Is this the power you want? I also think of red as power because Power Rangers. You know? Oh my god, what am I doing? But yeah. Okay. Back in. Zoom back in. Zoom back in. There we go. Flashbang. Blue could be Power Ranger red. Yeah, exactly. Go! Oh man. Okay. Virgil is blue. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think that's a bit unconventional though, honestly. I think that's a bit more unconventional though. Cause yeah, I don't know. I feel like before Virgil, blue was like calm because of the ocean. I think even now though, still it would still be considered I think even now it still would be considered calming more than power. If you're not from the gaming community, it'd be more calming than power. But it's very funny how Virgil turned something associated with calm and serenity with conquest, Because he needs more power. But isn't Virgil the mainstream emo? He kind of is. I need more power. Foolishness, Dante. Foolishness. Without might. Mainstream edgelord. Maybe if you don't come from the gaming community. Not only if you come from the gaming community, I feel like, honestly. I feel like if you come from the gaming community, Virgil would be maximal edgelord. Frankly. I don't think a lot of people know who Virgil is outside the gaming community. What does black represent other than dark? I was just... I mean, corruption. Not this kind of representation. I mean, like, in terms of colors. What does black represent? Seductive. Black means seductive? Wouldn't purple be corruption? Purple is apparently justice, but then it can also be corruption, which is interesting. That's so interesting. Sophistication, elegance, protection, strength. Interesting. It does? That's so interesting how we have like different ideas for what, or people have different ideas for what certain colors represent. You know what I mean? It checks out. True, it is fun to think about that. It's fun to think about this in general, I feel, honestly. Because it's so interesting just to see. Again, I think it's just so interesting to see just the different ideas people have. It's fun. Like, oh, you think this instead of that? That's so interesting. But yeah. Okay. We'll do the rings here. 7 rings in and down, 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 down. A lot of different ways of thinking out there. True. There's a, speaking of which, I was listening to a thing of well, not a thing. I need to be specific. Rings. Yes, rings. We have golden rings here. So I was listening to this podcast, I think by the name of Spencer Green or something. Anyways, so I was listening to this podcast by this guy called Spencer Green, and he was talking to like experts who try to study just ways of thinking across cultures. And there was an interesting thing that I kind of gleaned from the podcast episode, which was that our sort of like Western idea of intelligence, like what is smart, is a Western idea of analytics, essentially analysis, breaking things down and subscribing to a certain philosophy of what logic is, that is analytical thinking, and that is what we think about whenever we think about intelligence testing, for example. That's all that, that's sort of like what our intelligence preference is, or thinking preference is. Whenever we think about someone who's smart, we think of someone who can break things down, understand the logic behind systems, and then make conclusions, or draw conclusions, or make decisions based off of that. And that's our sort of Western idea about intelligence, what we think is smart, right? If you can tell me what things are wrong with my company, and then tell me what things are wrong with my company, you can also direct me on how to fix that. And that's what we consider smart. For other cultures who aren't as exposed to Western or weird in the anthropological sense, so weird is Western, educated, industrialized, rich, and democratic. If they aren't exposed to these like weird ideas, then they adopt a holistic kind of thinking, a holistic kind of intelligence. And basically that's something like holistic intelligence really more so emphasizes any kind of relationship one can form between a multivariate of categories, essentially, like a bunch of categories. So a basket, grass, and what is it? And a pot. They can all be related to a person because they have some relation with crafting, right? You can craft a basket, you can craft a pot, you can use grass to craft a basket. So that's sort of like holistic thinking there. And apparently indigenous and not as exposed or weird to weird cultures have this kind of holistic intelligence, which is really interesting to think about. And it's a different way of thinking than like if you grew up with Western ideas, and you have schools in your area, and schools are generally, for all intents and historical purposes, they're a Western idea. Schools are a Western idea. Tribes in history didn't necessarily have schools, they had teachers, if that makes sense. Which, if you want to argue that's a type of school, teachers definitely had a doctrine, but they didn't have a standardized curriculum. It makes sense. Yeah, they didn't have a standardized curriculum. So you would be taught like all these things, and you wouldn't say it's school, but it is education. No. They have schools. So countries and cultures that have schools are a Western thing, which means you have a standardized curriculum, and usually that standardized curriculum means that there's a language portion, there's a mathematical thing, and then maybe some kind of science in there with some kind of extracurriculars, right? And that's basically school, and that's what kind of promotes kind of the analytical intelligence. That's kind of what they found in correlation, I think, from this podcast. I think that if you the standard sort of typical stereotypical Western idea of being smart means that if you have a school, you're gonna have a lot of I was thinking more tribes like a long time ago when the concept of school was new. What do you mean? that's what I mean by like teachers existed in the form of parents, but then maybe you also have mentors. But then school helped to like standardize and teach what should be taught for everyone, whilst mentors and teachers in like these tribes and such, that's like, I'm like trying to make that distinction here where it's like, it's still education whether you had a mentor and a teacher in a tribe versus a teacher in school. Like when areas first had school buildings, but other areas maybe only had just teachers and etc. You should look into your Native American roots. I was like wondering like in what context are we talking about here? Like I'm referencing like the I don't know what the point of referencing that was, I guess, but because my point of referencing it was that people had different ideas of things and how the thing that I kind of came to appreciate was that was really sort of like a fundamental aspect of mind, essentially. And what I've come to appreciate about it is that the pure basic thing of the mind is twofold. It makes predictions and it makes associations, which you can say is basically one and the same. The mind will make, my point was similar to yours, but it's not something you can put into words since you don't think about it much at all. Okay. So basically, I was trying to say that like, that the mind, the human mind, basically, its basic function throughout any culture is to make associations through lived experiences. And I mean, that doesn't sound like anything much like revealing. It just sounds like very basic. But I think that's where do you disagree? I'm curious on why. I just don't know what you exactly still mean. With the distinction between not saying schools but then education. Like I don't know what you were meaning by that, because like there's still education in tribes and then in schools. But my thing was that schools are a Western thing that promotes analytical thinking and analytical intelligence. I was saying you can have education without a school. Okay, so I mean, yeah, obviously. Yeah, right? So you can learn without school. You can have people who sort of teach a doctrine. But then schools came along to essentially promote some kind of standard throughout the population about what things should be taught. And that's a fairly Western idea, I'd say. So yeah. If that's not what you're referring to, then I don't think I know what your point is. I see. Yeah, no, my point, my thing was that schools are a very Western thing. Schools are a Western kind of idea. Education has existed long before schools were made. And I'm probably also skipping over the fact that, I mean, in times of like China also had and East Asia also had like certain schools of thought. And I mean, there's been schools of thought from like Greece and Roman cultures essentially. So I mean, there's that stuff there. Which country created the concept of schools first? Maybe continent would be better. No, there is. Well, I mean continent, yeah, but there, like, which culture sort of created this idea of school? I guess I should probably backtrack and say that what I was thinking about with regards to school was just the fact that when schools started having a curriculum and a standard, rather than some expert person's personal teachings and personal wisdom, schools as we know it today were developed primarily by America, and maybe somewhere in I'm also probably getting my things mixed up, so I'd probably would recommend look up some stuff, and I get things wrong. Apologies. But the thing about schools is that it's like a primarily Western thing, I think. In fact, honestly, you know what? Let's look it up real quick. Trivium in Rome, founded in 753 BC by Romulus and Remus, the legendary founders of Rome. However, the earliest formal school was developed in Egypt's Middle Kingdom around 2061 to 2010 BC. Wait, Sumerian. I figured it had to start with Mesopotamia, honestly. I figured it had to start with Mesopotamia, because Mesopotamia is like our earliest documented existence of a culture, essentially, of like a talking to everyone that's not from America. The history of education extends so far, at least as far back as the first written records recovered from ancient civilizations. Historical studies have included virtually every nation. The earliest known formal school was developed in Egypt's Middle Kingdom. This is history of education from Wikipedia. In ancient India, education was mainly imparted through the Vedic and Buddhist learning system, while the first education system in ancient China was created in the Xia dynasty. Wow. In the city-states of ancient Greece, most education was private, except in Sparta. For example, in Athens, during the 5th and 4th century BC, aside from 2 years military training, the state played a little part in schooling. The first schools in ancient Rome arose by the middle of the 4th century BC. So, okay, so those were sort of like interesting. What if we okay. Schools as interesting. Who invented school? Monday mornings. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I guess this means that like schools were a formal schooling systems. Neph is having a brain blast, everyone. Chanakya, interesting. Religious monastic schools, interesting. Well, anyways, that makes me think about stuff because that just makes me think about stuff because I guess I'm making a distinction in my head between like a weird school and then a sort of other kind of like other kind of schooling. Let's do this. Not the, like, weird in like an anthropologic sense. What would I call a weird school? In my mind, I'm thinking of like some kind of... You know what? Not I think about it, I don't really know. So I'm saying weird in the anthropological sense. If that makes sense. Like, so in like the anthropological sense of weird, we have Western industrialized, educated, rich, democratic. So this is the anthropological weird. Whoopsie doodle. Whoops. That's not how you spelled it. Yeah, I might also have just fucking... Yeah. That's what I was saying earlier about Western, educated, industrialized. I think that's probably what the more proper... What is it? Okay, hold up. So this is like the anthropological weird. Which, I mean, I feel like this should probably be familiar, honestly. So, I mean, we have things like, for Western, it's basically like freedom, maybe some kind of like conservative ideals, essentially. I don't know what other things would be. Oh, individualism. Like individualism, and then we have basically the mass majority of the population has some kind of credential saying that they know stuff, essentially, and then of which this education here is like basically going to span across lots of subjects. So we'll have things where it's like there's some science, right? There's some scientific doctrine. There's going to be some kind of language thing. There's going to be some math. There's going to be some kind of and then electives. There we go. Electives, right? And so this is sort of like, I think this honestly should really be familiar, because if you've been to school in the States, for example, you're probably gonna get something like, you know, your English, your reading and writing. You know, learning the alphabet, learning how to write and read English, and then you're gonna get like homework assignments talking about read this short story or read this, and then tell me what you learned from it. Essentially, that's kind of like the homework assignment. And then you'll have like, I don't know, then you'll have like PE or recess, and then you'll have some basic math, your additions, your properties, and then you'll have you'll have maybe music, maybe you'll have computer class, maybe you'll have art, what else? Damn, summer packets. Yeah. And then you'll have and then for your language, essentially, so this is still language, and in this case it'll be English. And then sciences, basically, and then you'll sort of understand science, and this just mainly this just means you like read science books. Maybe you'll do a little bit of experimentation, little bit of experiment, a little bit of experimenting, and then maybe understanding a little bit of the scientific method. But I think most kids would be bored because we just focus on this. We just try to focus on like understanding, oh, STEM fair project, that's something, right? That's something. That can go into here with a little bit of experimenting, if that's something you had to do. Yeah. So this is sort of like what I mean by like, this is probably what's going to be in a weird education. All of these here, if you're good in like, whoopsie doodle. Like if you're good in all of these, you're good in analytical thinking. And this is like your IQ stuff. Any IQ test we develop, it's like this is usually what it means. If you're good at this stuff here, it most likely means you have a high that. But in other cultures you have holistic thinking. Which basically just means you can categorize relationships. Oh no, don't mention IQ tests to Americans. Joke's on you. Oh my god. So yeah. And then we have holistic thinking, which is a really cool thing. And that's basically categorizing relationships. And the point that here is that the mind essentially there's like a cool mind map I can do. Anyway, so I'm gonna erase this now. This is welcome to my lecture for something I'm not exactly an expert in. Anyway, back to drawing. Oh my god. After boring everyone to death with my whole thing about types of thinking across cultures. Freaking, I think it's so interesting too, just to sort of like wonder about all that stuff, because just me nerding more about stuff willy-nilly because I'm a nerd. People like when you talk about stuff. Sure. But I don't know. It's so interesting for me to think about this kind of stuff, because relating to like the whole me loving differences type thing, I also love like personality, and there's one personality facet from the Big Five. If you don't know the Big Five, essentially, I'm gonna nerd more about stuff real quick. Please forgive me. Big Five. If you don't know the Big Five, it's basically this really established personality test thing. And neuroticism. Apparently, so this is like a personality thing, a personality assessment. There's lots of tests of it, like online, and apparently the one that's most culturally influenced when you try to recreate the personality facets across cultures, this tends to be the most variable. And it's because we sort of have this preference across the cultural population about whether or not we like to think about things in a analytical way, which I think of it as like this set of philosophies we understand to be considered following the rules of the real world, essentially the underlying rules of the real world, in a more Aristotelian, Socratic, Newtonian, and all this other stuff way. And those are just names. So like Aristotle, pretty smart dude from Greece. Socrates, basically the guy who was like, are you sure about that? And then Newton, which came from later on. I'm adding all these on. This isn't exactly established, but I'm kind of adding it on just to be like, so this is just sort of like what it kind of amounts to, what it means, I guess, something like that. I hope I'm making sense. There are probably people who are gonna watch this and be like, you're spreading misinformation, and I'm trying to point to the fact that it's just like we have like certain established, we have carried on because we liked it and because it says accurate things about what happens in reality, things that other people have said, and we're like, yeah, this makes sense. This seems to make sense to us. It makes sense to you guys? Cool, keep it going. So that's basically that. I need to stop yapping because I'm yapping about stuff that I don't really know about, but yeah. Sure, you aren't spreading. This is why you're hopeful, Bun. This is why you're hopeful. Oh man. But yeah. Okay. The virtue of hope. Okay. I need to actually like get the rest of this written down. Not written. What the fuck am I saying? Colored in. There we go. those are the wings. And then I need to find that. Oh no, wait, that's part of the blue. When you talk about things you're passionate about, you don't give off that cocky I know stuff attitude. Some people do know when they know stuff more than others around them. Yeah, I mean, because I'm passionate about learning, you know? Like, I think it's a valuable skill to keep up, I think. And I mean, there's also like a bunch of neurological healthy stuff about people who keep on learning, but I don't keep on learning for primarily the health of it. I keep on learning about stuff because things are interesting in the world. They, like, honestly, they really are. And I mean, when it's nice to know about, I mean, it's kind of cool to know about, no? I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird in that, but I think it's just really cool to know about these kind of this kind of stuff and see it applied, really. That's the thing about learning, right? Is that like it's not just about like consuming information, it's about also trying to turn it into something knowledgeable. Trying to actually have good knowledge about you know, the things you learn about. Not saying that you need to necessarily be an expert, but it's also just like, it's also like, I don't know. I think about like, I don't know, staying true to this idea of like learning something because it's helpful and useful and also really nice. Like learning to expose people to stuff they have only heard from a surface. Well, that's... Uh-huh. Oh my god. You also like learning because you find more reasons to keep living. Yeah. Yeah. That's really nice. No. You did not say anything wrong. That's more like you don't worry. Don't think you didn't say, don't think you said something wrong. I swear to God, you didn't say anything wrong. Oh man, I'm just like focused and my brain scattered around, and I'm also just like, I don't know. I'm fumbling around trying to speak about whatever the hell just to not have silence because I'm an entertainer. I need to entertain. And I'm also just like mid-thought. I'm also just like I'm just rambling on about I'm rambling on about like I'm just rambling on. Don't mind me. I'm rambling on about how and why learning is cool and I don't know. I'm a person with a lot of questions and a lot of thoughts and a lot of ideas that I wanna like think more about. What do you all think about non-monogamous relationships? Well, let's just go here. I'm just gonna go here. Did I have a question to ask? Not really. I mean, not until now. I've been going down the whole rabbit hole of human sexuality. And it's been interesting, honestly. It's been super interesting. It's been very cool having like my mind open more about like ideas about relationships. Maybe I'm just sheltered, but yeah. Oh man. They have a bad rep, but they really, but truth is they really do work as long as there's healthy communication, like any other relationship. Yeah, highly agree. That's like what a lot of research shows. And it's so interesting where like people get this idea that monogamous relationships are like the relationship. And it's been interesting with me because like I feel like having been growing up in the household that I was growing up in, that like, and just the culture in general, we just think of like non-monogamous relationships as things that just don't work. They're just really weird. Which in some sense they kind of are, but not in the sense that they're bad. You know, they're just not that common in our culture. And it's like, I mean, who really ever thought of this idea of this one way of being in relationships is right and is the only right way to be in? And it's like, I mean, is that really the case though? Is that really the case? So I don't know. It's been really interesting. And there's like this thing I came across where researchers have developed like this scale, quote unquote. Not really a scale, but it's kind of like this system of thinking about relationships where so there'll be like this thing, right? So there'll be this sort of desire for casual sex, and then this desire for commitment. And it's like, I think that's right. It's something like this, basically. I'm doing a game of telephone, but it's essentially like someone's propensity for wanting like long-term relationships, and then people wanting to sort of have like a short hookup. And I think this is the case. I think it is. Is it? It's basically to kind of show that, or to help people understand, their like relationship orientation preferences, if that makes sense, right? So if you like have a desire for casual sex, and then you have a desire for keeping long-term partners as well, like it's high casual sex and high long-term partner, then what you'll have is like open. You'll have like an open style or open preference, I guess, for like open relationships. And then that can go into like open poly or like mono open or like something like that. But if you have like low desire for casual sex, and then you have high commitment, and then you could probably assume that this is probably going to be monogamous. Is that there we go. Oh my god. But I think I'm getting this wrong. Something's telling me I'm getting this wrong. If you have like low commitment and low desire for casual sex, you're probably just gonna be okay being alone. I'm getting this wrong. I feel like I am. I think I am. I think I definitely am getting this wrong. So I'm just gonna stop here. But it's like this new thing that relationship researchers have developed, where it's something like that, where you want like a long-term partner, and there's someone who's gonna be like a bit higher sexually, which is that idea of like preferring casual sex, or sort of like this idea that sex is not that much of a big deal to you. And how they develop that difference, I don't exactly know. But it sort of like put a spin for me, where it's like people can be on a bit of a scale of preferring multiple people, polyamorous, and then there can be some people who like prefer one person, and then there's someone who can be in between, where it's like they can be in a polyamorous or they can be in a monogamous, and it's so interesting. It's something you fully understand. But you're smart enough to know what you should say and shouldn't. I mean, I'm getting across the general idea, but I'm not. The thing that I'm kind of worrying about is like not getting across sort of like the proper reasons why it's this way, and also because I like heard it one day, I looked into it a bit, and then it's kind of been in the back of my mind since I've been exploring it. But yeah. But it's just been really interesting to explore it. From the perspective of like expanding my thinking about relationships and how people have certain connections to sex and such. It makes me understand like why some certain people also have certain feelings about their identity and such. If you had a podcast, I'd watch it. Aren't my streams already basically a podcast? I mean, genuinely. Oh man. But you know. What is this one here? Is that? Yeah, it's that. Honestly, true, right? I feel like you can put my stream on in the background and just hear me yap about certain things because it's just been on my mind. I don't know how sensical I'd sound. I'd hope the people who understand me would understand what I'm trying to get across as I think about things a bit more. Sex as a concept is something to talk about because sex isn't just sex. YouTube don't get me. It's interesting. So recently today I was watching a video from Big Think of of someone who is like an expert in sort of like the science of sex therapy, and let me think about the point of me trying to say this real quick. What I kind of learned from that is sort of like this development of the triphasic model of sex, and sexual activity. So there's desire, this internal motivation that's influenced by a bunch of brain stuff. One particular of which is the nucleus accumbens shell. And basically, when that brain area is active, and nucleus accumbens is associated with dopamine. So when that area is active, and depending on which specific area of the nucleus accumbens is active, you either feel, you like sense stuff, touch, like any kind of touch can feel good, pleasurable, sexual, or they can feel annoying, they can feel bad, not necessarily pain, but you just don't like it. And so that's kind of like, I mean, that relates to like erogenous zones and all this other stuff, but and other stuff that I have learned in the past. But that was like I mean, that makes sense, right? And it's like, I mean, why did we need science to like really discover that? I think it's just helpful to have that confirmed. But so there's desire, which is basically like this motivation, this want for sex, essentially. And then there is arousal, which is sort of what actually stimulates like a sexual response in you. And then there is, well, of course, orgasm. So like an orgasm is like actually like a really interesting thing to have thought about recently for me, in the sense that it's like, so in the tantric traditions, orgasm, or rather, so I said like in the tantric traditions that sexual energy is spiritual energy, and the reason for that is because orgasm actually has this ability to like, has this like consciousness altercation ability. Orgasm is, in a sense, an influencing state of consciousness, almost like what you would get in like meditation, basically. Not exactly, but it just has this ability to really make you sort of focus in on stuff. And that's been an interesting kind of way to think about orgasm for me. And the tantric traditions also try to, not try to, but they teach this thing where you can be sort of, where like almost any sensation can be an orgasmic kind of experience. Not because it induces orgasm, but because of the fact that it can be like orgasm tangential, if that makes sense. It's something that is like orgasm, mainly in the sense that it's grounding and it makes you focus in on the present moment. Sort of how like orgasm can make you sort of one-pointed. The other way I've heard it described is that orgasm gets you out of your mind, essentially. And if you think about it, I feel like that makes sense, because like you just don't think. You just don't think in orgasm. I don't know how this stream is gonna go after, because of just the words I've been saying. So hopefully it stays up. But otherwise, I hope it. I mean, I don't know. It does make sense, right? Yeah, right. So I don't know. That's been really interesting. But so basically, I just learned about this triphasic model of sex and sexual activity, where you have a motivation for sex, so desire, sexual response. YouTube will last on sex positive videos, so you should be good. So yeah, and also this is education now, so yeah. So then there's like sexual arousal, so like basically touch, things that stimulate your sexual response, and then you have orgasm, which I already yapped on about that. And arousal has like these two things, essentially. Apparently it's been neurobiologically identified that there are accelerants and inhibitors of sexual arousal. So there are some things that you touch or you do or you say that make you want the sex. And then this is education YouTube. There's no man hiding with a lampshade. So there is unless, bro. So there is activities that you could do that increases your sexual arousal, turns you on, and there are things that you do that might not turn you on as much or turn you off. They just, and this is interesting because of the fact that for sex therapists, they've sort of realized that when there's problems with sex, it's not because of the accelerators, it's because there are inhibitors essentially turned on. There are things that a person's thinking about doing or whatever, that's going like, I mean, I'm turned on, but I'm kind of having problems getting turned on, you know? They desire sex, but they can't get their body to react the same way. They can't get their body to react with their mind. And then there is the fact that maybe their mind isn't in it, but their body's being turned on, you know? And so that's really interesting. And it's interesting just how disconnected we could be from our own body. And that's something that I think is a bit more of a fundamental lesson to learn. And why something like sex is kind of a bit more, it's more than just the activity, you know? It's more than like just this reduced down act of recreation and procreation. It's really about being embodied, you know? And I've also been like, we are one sneeze from jumping out of our body. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're right. But then I've also kind of like dug some research into like kink, right? And like BDSM, not because I'm interested in it, but because it's like stimulating an intellectual curiosity of mine. Like, why is it that some people do get into BDSM? And apparently that has something to deal with the Aro Ace community. And it's mainly because of like a sensual experience, which, I mean, that can be sexual, but it's not really sexual for Aro Ace. It's just more so about feeling something that's like different. It's like an intellectual curiosity for them that they're fulfilling. So it's been, I mean, I don't think I'm gonna be interested in BDSM as like a physical thing to do, but like that's just a interesting area, I guess, you know, to think about. So anyway, yapping. Oh, I'm yapping about whatever. And I hope that what I'm yapping about is interesting to other people. Oh man. Your ace friend draws some NSFW and they in no way feel the same way most of your friends would. Yeah, they just it just doesn't work for them, right? Like, it's no desire, it's no, maybe there's some arousal, but there's like it's interesting too, for, and I mean, ace people are also kind of on a scale too. There's some people who are like, who just have a variation in kind of sexual response or sexual desire. You react to it and they find it hilarious and maybe intriguing. Lamau? yeah. Mm. Also, ace is kind of like a catch-all term, right? I'm finding that I'm like, I don't know. So I've been finding that I'm probably demi. I'm probably demi. Cause yeah. Anyway. probably Demi. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. But yeah. I need this gourd filled in, dude. You know, as much as you joke about certain aspects of the actor gross to you, yeah. They are interesting. Your biggest thing is connection. I feel that. I think for me, it's just like I don't think it wouldn't be easy for me to get it on if I was with someone like completely random. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that doesn't jive with me. That doesn't jive with me at all. Like, I need to get to like know someone first before anything. You know? Maybe some part of that is just normal. But I'm also just like, I need like a good connection going on. You know? Oh man. I personally need like a good connection going on. And I'm not sure how like other people can just go for it, you know what I mean? I don't know how other people can just be like, oh, that person's hot. Let me just like, I can kind of like aesthetically recognize when someone's like aesthetically pleasing, and then next thing you know, it's like I just don't know, man. Mm-hmm. Some ideas intrigue you, but you wouldn't act on it. Yeah. Right. I don't know. I'm just like, I don't know, man. I think I need to feel something that isn't just like down there. I need the in here. Wait, what the hell? I need the... What you lack is this. Wait. What you lack is this. I need the that that's going on, honestly, because I just can't otherwise. Lit. I like how this is going on right now. I like how this is coming along. See, YouTube, we're being you sensei kudasai. Lamau? Lamau? I mean, honestly, I'm not even like monetized. Like, I really only need to worry about it if I'm monetized. So I don't think this is gonna be bad. I don't think this is gonna be bad at all, really. I mean, the new AI system though for YouTube is kind of wacky. It's kind of whack, but it is what it is. Yeah, that worries you. Yeah, right. Godspeed is what I say. Godspeed. The dubs on YouTube. It's AI dub now, right? Like the AI dubs? Oh shit. Did I just destroy that? Fuck. Okay. Automatic AI dubs. I think I've seen some of that in action, and I mean, I don't think it's been too bad, frankly. It's like TikTok dub voices, but worse. Oh, dub. Oh wait, no. I haven't messed around with that. I haven't seen much of it at all happen actually, so I don't really know. I don't really know what's happening with that. I haven't heard anything from. I haven't heard it. But that's gonna be, yeah, that's gonna be something. I mean, I would need to like see what it's like, but it doesn't sound good. You heard it once in a video and it was just not good. It was just not good. Rip. It makes you miss the Google AI voices. From freaking Google Translate, you mean? Lamau? The Google Translate voice, you mean? Oh, man. No, Google had these voice pack. What do you? Oh? You can hear them in many videos, especially before 2020. I mean, I probably know what you're talking about, but I just didn't think that those were like a Google. Those were like specifically Google voice packs. Right, I'm changing the line art color. There we go. That feels more professional. Somehow they sounded more human. I'm honestly impressed with how human. You didn't either till you found it yourself. I see. I'm honestly impressed with how this is not relating to like the YouTube AI dub. I am impressed with how like how kind of human ChatGPT sounds. Honestly, you're loving my color choice. I mean, let's look at this real quick. Let's look at my color palette here. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. So I have for this going on right now. I have... No, wrong thing. So I have that color choice. This, and then this, and then this, and then put that away. Then what we got is basically gold and purple usually go nice together. They're like, I have like this weird, like, I need a, I don't know, man. Color theory is making me go like, I don't know about this. But I mean, aren't like, isn't yellow and purple like... They're complementary colors. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they're complementary colors. I see. Primary, complementary. Okay. Yeah, okay. And then I think they're just in even amounts, really. And then this is purple, blue, yellow. Purple, blue, yellow. I guess it's okay. I guess it's okay. I guess it's okay. I'm like looking at it and I'm like thinking, I mean, I wonder what would happen if I switch the blue and purple instead, honestly. So let's go to my Hagoromo. So this right here, we're gonna keep the amethyst. So wait, beads. Let's go make these amethyst beads. Amethyst beads, and then we got the gold here. Do I have the sapphire? This right here is the hair, I think. Hair? Yeah, this is the hair. This is the hair. Okay. So then I'm gonna make this purple. I'm also just trying not to make it boring too. So we'll take from this. Let's do something like this. Okay. And then I'm gonna have just to make sure I'm not like leaving any other spots open. I'm trying to fill in all the dots here. I'm trying to... What I'm doing right now is just judging the I mean, just how nice it really is for my own eyes. Okay. And then let's do that. And then we'll go with that color. Continue filling this in. Does that still give off angel? I wonder. And then, oh wait a second, I need the Hagoromo to be blue now. Oh! Oh, I kind of like that. Wait. I kind of like it. It's not what I imagined. I have to think about it a bit more now. You like it too, actually. Yeah. Right? But I'm also thinking like, but I was hoping for more blue. I think I like it primarily because where the purple is like a darker color, right? Actually, wait a second. I'm trying to think about why I like this. Can't have two different versions. I want to do the whole. I do want to do like more bluish. I need something that represents that it is like angelic, essentially, right? It does look really nice. I like it. I'm trying to... Okay, let's duplicate this. And then let's see if we can get this purple to be a bit more blue. And then maybe something will come of that. And then I don't know. Cause That barely changes anything. Hey, look at that. I kind of like this. I kind of like that. Yeah? Maybe? Possibly? Potentially? Mayhaps? Perhaps? We'll see. Then maybe we'll do something like this. You do like the bluish purple? Right. It's just looking really similar to... I'm also trying to think like, the shading is gonna go hard. This character. Yeah. Let's do this real quick though. Maybe just regular blue would actually just be fine for this. It's gonna go hard. Indeed, it's gonna go hard. I mean, I think I like this a bit better, honestly. It's kind of typical. It's kind of really typical, but This is like really stereotypical, honestly. Well, I just need this to be a different color real quick. And then I just fill everything in here before I turn everything white. Simple is good too. Yeah, I think that's kind of like the ideal philosophy when it comes to this, where it's just don't overcomplicate it. Sometimes it's just better to keep it simple, you know. Kind of a disgusting background real quick. Oh no, the eye is different now. I'm also realizing that some of the line art is also not. People can better read simple characters with big plots. What exactly do you mean by that? Oh man. What exactly do you mean by that? What? Oh my god. What? What exactly do you mean by that? Oh my god. Bios story. Wait, what? Oh my god. Oh my god. I kind of like this better. I kind of really like this. It feels really typical, but I don't know. Plot equals story. I'm sure that's what you meant. I am sure that's what you meant. Oh my god. I am sure that's what you meant. I am absolutely positively sure that's what you meant. Okay. Oh. That's where that was. Okay, hold up. That's gonna be a sapphire. And then... this? I'm not sure. No words. Oh my god. I like being a tease. It makes me happy. Come out extremely nicely. Yeah. mean, I'm liking it, I think. And do stripes here. Have meant for that to be there. And then that there. Hmm. Hmm. Always come back to it and change what you don't like. That is true, that is true. I'm just trying to think about what it is that I don't like so far, and maybe before I finish things off. Let's go to Halo real quick, and then we will do... I need this to be fuzzy. Please be fuzzy. Burst? Wait a minute. Can I do this? Oh, yo. Nope. Got maybe? Nope. Okay. I'm trying to... Let's do airbrush for this. Nope. I need this to be thicker. Thicker. Nope. I need this. I need this to be something that I'm not gonna want to rip my hair out with. Oh my gosh. Maybe? No? Dude, I don't know, man. Okay, wait. Oh no, that's too big. Okay, maybe we could do something like this. And then maybe we could do this. I guess we could do that. I guess we could do that. Oh man. Maybe we could do this though. Anyways, yep. I think I got the base structure down. And then I will come back to all of this another time. I will continue working on this. And I think I'm gonna call it here. Oh, what the hell? That's crazy. crazy. Anyway, I will come back to this another time. Hi, Halo looking nice. It's looking really thick and cartoonish. Oh man. Really thick and cartoonish. But you know what? I'll figure out a way. I'll figure out a way. I think I need to thin it out anyways. Yeah. It is great to have you all back again, yeah. If you haven't liked the stream yet, please do like it. I appreciate it a lot. And I'll see you all another time, yeah? Remember, you're cool. Bye-bye now. Bye. Bye.